Hi guys, so I wanted to look a little bit into this little origami proof of concept that I've been working on. So I asked a friend, he's usually working with all this crazy stuff with Arduinos, LEDs, and so on. My friend Alvaro from Costa Rica, and I was asking him what are some cool things that I can use with some mixing like origami and maybe something from electronics. Or what is something unexpected or something that he would recommend doing? And one of the things he recommended was using these very small LEDs from Adafruit. So if you look at the size from them, they look really small. Well, let's see if I can connect it properly, point it properly. There we go. So they look very small. You can see compared to my finger, for example. And then the idea was that maybe we could use this inductive, which is also this little part here, which we can use to charge it, charge the LED, or yeah, just grant it some energy wirelessly, so that it can fire up. So this is the first attempt that I make. This dragon I made from I think there's a tutorial from Tadashi Mori. I will probably I'm not sure his name. Sorry about that. I will put a link in the description for the dragon, for the paper, for the electronics from Adafruit, and then probably you can buy them locally as well. I believe in the Netherlands, and it was easy for me to buy them locally. So probably for you it's gonna be the same. So I'm still not sold on how I want to have it. Um, for example, in this case, I think I could cover this circle maybe with some flames. Maybe, mm, yeah, maybe it could be like some sort of flames, or it could be like some sort of ring of fire, and the dragon is flying through it. Like for example, in this case, the dragon is just sustaining itself on the circle. It's not really being used by the smart hands behind. Um, as you can see here, the legs are already sustaining it in part of this part of the wing. This is the lead, and it's not really connected to anything. So yeah, this is kind of how it looks like. I think it's a small model, but yeah. If you look at other pictures, these are the LEDs, and this is the inductive charger. No, I do not know anything about electronics. I simply bought the product, so please forgive me if I'm using all the wrong terms. Um, but yeah, you can see here, for example, here it is connected, and it is granting the power. I'm using some alligator clips here. This is how it looks if when I was having like maybe the first test. The LEDs have to be kind of this close to be able to light. Otherwise, if they're too far, they will not receive power. So yeah, I guess somehow it has to be like, for example, if I put it in top of the wing, it wouldn't light it up. And then this inductive charger, according to my friend, you can put them, like for example, you can put a piece of paper on top of it. As long as it's not metal, then everything should be working fine. I'm still not sure how much material I can put on top of it, because for example, we can put some yeah, I'm not sure, some wood, or it could be yeah, maybe it can be like a model. I'm thinking of creating a clay model that sustains and hides the coil, and then on top of it we could land the yeah, some figures and some models. Um, if we do it like that, also it will have, for example, I'm using all these wires here that are using yeah, just alligator clips, so it's very flimsy. It shouldn't be like this. It should be soldered. But just because it is an early prototype, it will be like that. But if it was on a clay model, then it will be easier to have yeah, everything very static there, very safe, and then you can have like a little USB plug to have it working. Yeah, so let's look at a couple of videos first on how this was done. So as you can see here, this is the USB-C breakout board. I got some cable over there, and I'm just connecting it. This was my first attempt, so what I tried to do is, like, you know, just have a way to turn it off as fast as possible to avoid burning anything in my house. But it seems to work, so I only needed to plug it into 2 pins. If you look at the documentation from the USB breakout board, it will say that there is a ground and there is 5 volts, and those should be enough, at least for this project, because the LEDs need 5 volts, or not the LEDs, but the coil that they claim to need 5 volts. So just make sure that, for example, in my case, I have no idea about anything in electronics, so I asked my friend, what are the colors I should use, and because I have no idea, so he simply says, you know, black is going to be for ground, and red is going to be for power. So make sure that you have them, you follow them there. We will look a little bit into the chip or the breakout, just to be safe. So the first time that I tried this, by the way, I tried to use these little pins here, just connect them here, but they are kind of loose. So yeah, I think I would burn them if I'm not careful. So that's why I placed them in a breadboard. I think it's called a breadboard, I'm not sure. But I think in Spanish we call them protoboard, but doesn't matter. So yeah, to me it was tricky that initially I thought like just plugging these little clips on these little holes in here, but turns out that the first time I tried, I had to kind of push it a little bit to make sure that the contact is being made. Not very good. So again, power is gonna flow over the red part, the red wire, and the black one is gonna be for ground. So if we follow it, then I have a couple of alligator grids. This is because I do not have male to female connectors yet. I ordered them, but they haven't arrived. So again, because I don't know anything about electronics, I only have 2 things to think about. I am not yet transferring data or thinking how do I light them to different patterns or anything. So yeah, on this side again, I follow the same thing, just follow the same colors, and you can see here that they are not connected directly, but they are getting power, and you can see that some of the lights are showing, but they do not show everywhere. I'm not sure if I'm doing something wrong yet. Depending on where you put them, they might not light, or you might need, you might need to tune them around. And then, if you have plastic, it still will transfer the charge. So that is how I set up the wiring. And then this other one shows how it is still transferring the energy even through the paper, and doesn't heat it up. I left it there for a little bit because I have no idea how anything here works. So I left it here for a little bit and was waiting to see if anything would burn. Luckily nothing happened. So you can see that, for example, this kind of paper, very beautiful paper from Origami shop, and basically, yeah, it shows all these displays of colors. I'm thinking that maybe some of these could be like the foot of the dragon. Maybe it could be eating something, and it could be on the model. For example, if we make something with clay, it could be there, or if we make something out of wood. Not sure. Yeah. So I'm gonna go through the materials that I used to build this. So the first thing that I needed to buy was this inductive coil. So in this case, for example, it shows already how it works. This is it's very easy to do, I think. Yeah, I think somewhere in here is going to tell us about the where we have to connect them. yeah, we just have to go through the page. I think it's very easy. They have videos on how to make this work as well, so it should be very easy. So this is just the inductive coil. Then we need to find a way to transfer these 5 volts into the coil. And for this, I use this USB-C breakout board. Again, Alvaro is the one that told me what I need to buy. You can see here, for example, that I followed something similar. They have like a very small portable. I need to buy some of these breadboards. They're much smaller. Actually, this is what I was looking for on the other document. So you can connect VBus to your 5 volts input. So this is what I did, because I have a couple of inputs, and then the ground to ground, and that's all I did, because right now I'm just pushing whatever appears in the voltage. I am not controlling or sending any sort of signals. So that's how I look. So if you buy them, let me see if I have one of them around here. Yeah. So yeah, this is how they arrived. They are very, very small, as you can see here, right? No, well. Anyway, yeah, this is they come with a little URL there as well for you to check. And you just have to make sure that you point. For example, if I hold it like this, the top left, actually the bottom left side, slightly says over there, ground. I don't know if it's visible. My hand is shaking too much. And then the other one says D-bus or B-bus. Not there. Yeah, anyway, you will read it. Just make sure that you have them pointed correctly, and if you don't know about electronics like me, then just make sure that you follow the same colors, ideas. Sorry about that. It's a little bit of a cold. And then the other part that we have to buy, I think I showed you this already before. This was the this small inductive coil. Yeah, I will place the links, because the first time that I bought them, I bought the wrong coil. So basically, I have some coils that I don't know how to use yet. So this is and then I don't know if I can find them here. Origami shop. So in this website is where I found the paper. You can find there are many types of paper. There are some golden ones that I think will look cool with the LEDs. There are some that have like a darker shade, and then the other side has some sort of light. It's still very dark, but it has like a light. I don't know, like for example, dark red or dark green. And then under certain light, you can see that there is a little bit of color, even though mostly it is very dark. And then the next part that I want to add, that hopefully I should be adding soon, is that I want to add this little servo. So this servo here, the SG92R, this one apparently needs 3 volts. And what I want to do is that maybe we can have the wings of the dragon. Maybe they can be connected, and then under certain conditions, for example, maybe once an hour, maybe it's a signal of an hour, it should flap the wings, and then we'll be able to control it somehow. Yeah, we just, for example, here in the background or something like that. Another idea that I had is that maybe if the CO2 levels in my room are too high, then maybe they can signal for example, this can be connected to an USB C3, ESP32 C3 or something like that, and then I think it connects to Wi-Fi already and through Bluetooth. So we could send a signal there that says, hey, please, move the wings of the dragon. So it will be like an origami that will tell me, just by the movement of the wings, that there's some condition in the house, whatever it is. For example, I don't know, in this case, for example, it could be the CO2 level, so I think it would be cool. Not sure yet about the paper I'll need to use, because also, yeah, I'm not sure if it will ruin the model. For example, if it moves the wings too much, then maybe it breaks them. But I think this little servo, it's a great idea for that, because it works like I think it works 180 degrees, so it moves one way and then the other. It doesn't go around and around. So I think it's possible that this could be a good use for it. I think, yeah, I'll paste the links on the description. And then, yeah, enjoy. Cheers.